Hello, this is Ollie's Movie Madness, and I'm here to do a movie review of X3, X-Men The Last Stand. And I'm going to just flat out say this. I never liked this movie. I never did. This was always my least favorite X-Men film in the original trilogy. And the storyline, I don't feel like talking about because it's just a bunch of. You have stuff with the Cure, you have stuff with Magneto, you have stuff with Jean Grey turning evil, and that's basically it. It's just a mess of horribly done subplots. There's too much stuff going on, and out of all the X-Men movies, this was the most messy in terms of the original trilogy. And let's just get to the acting. Let's just talk about that because that's more interesting to talk about than the storyline. Acting's not that bad. The writing is the problem. Look, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is phenomenal. Even parts where this movie's not working, Jackman still gives it his all. He's really fun. He's really entertaining to watch. But the character of Wolverine is a fucking idiot because for some reason he kills Jean Grey in the climax. He goes up to her, stabs her, and cries, and he says, "I love you," and it's like stupid. And yeah, Jackman gives it his all despite that horrible line delivery, but Wolverine will never kill Jean Grey. He'll never do that. Magneto wouldn't because he'll be paranoid. So Magneto trying to kill Jean Grey would make sense. But with Wolverine, no. So as much as Hugh Jackman is trying, he does a great job. And I will admit there was one joke I found funny where he is attacking this one mutant and his arms keep growing back and then he kicks the mutant in the balls and he says, "Grow those back." That was really funny. But in terms of writing, yeah, Wolverine was badly written. Cyclops, he does nothing. He gets killed by Fonka Jansen in the movie, whatever. James Martin, he's trying his best. Let's talk about the best part of this movie. Kelsey Grammer, plays Beast. And look, even in parts where this movie's not working, Grammer is perfect in this movie. He looks like Beast. He acts like him. He's really smart. He's really, intelligent, how he really cares about the mutants and he believes that mutants and humans can coexist. And I think that is the strongest thing in this movie is Kelsey Grammer's performance. And the design of Beast, he was perfect. He looked like his counterpart from the comics. And the CGI on his face looks really good. So I think out of all the characters, he was the best written character out of all of them. So Kelsey Grammer, I would put up there in terms of with Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, and even Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate as one of the best superhero casting choices. Patrick Stewart. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Look, Stewart does a great job. He does. But he dies in this movie. He goes into this psychic battle with Jean Grey. And his face does a ripple effect like a dog. It's so stupid. And oh my goodness. The way he died to get disintegrated. The house is flying. The sky is so stupid. And the horrible de-aging flashback with Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, it's shitty. It looks horrible. Now, I will give credit for one thing. It's not as bad as the CGI in X-Men Origins Wolverine with the young Patrick Stewart. That looked utter shit. That looked even worse than this. But yeah, the flashback was not needed. You could have done that in present timeline. But yeah, Patrick Stewart, he's trying. Let's talk about the worst thing about this movie. And I'm sorry to say this, but Ian McKellen is so badly written. He's not badly acted, but he's just horribly written because, look, as fun as it is to see Ian McKellen come back, oh my god, they did not need to make him this overly annoying and stupid. Because they say, let's make Magneto into a jokester, and yeah, he's not fucking funny. And Magneto was never supposed to be funny. And look, did I hate the part in X2 X-Men United where Magneto says, "We like what you're doing with your hair"? Yeah, I hate that line of dialogue, but I can forgive that because it was just 1 second of bad dialogue. It only lasts for a couple seconds. But with this movie, they push the MCU humor way too far. And this just shows how stupid Magneto is. And getting back to Charles' death, in that same scene, Magneto he sees Charles die, he screams, "Charles!" And I cannot stop laughing because of Ian McKellen's horrible line delivery. Because the moment is supposed to be tragic, it's supposed to take it seriously, but I can't due to McKellen's bad line delivery. And you end up laughing at McKellen rather than feeling bad for him in the movie. You're laughing at Magneto. You don't feel bad for him. And look, is Ian McKellen terrible in this movie? Acting-wise, yes, no, but writing-wise, yeah, he's pretty bad. Acting-wise, he's doing the best he can. Let's talk about Jean Grey, played by Famke Janssen. Look, I know a lot of people praise her, saying, oh, she's really good in the movie, but I don't know what it is. I never really liked it. I always thought it was stupid. Now, I will give credit, though. Is she better than Sophie Turner in the new X-Men movies? Oh, yeah. Famke Janssen, way better. Way better. Like, her villain turn makes some sense, but she just stands there like a zombie. She's just that. She just stands there, just spacing out, and she just screams, telling Charles to get out of her head. And the idea of Charles and Jean Grey going into a psychic battle is not a bad idea. I don't think it's a horrible idea, but the way they execute it in this movie is really bad. And look, Jean Grey as a character is poorly written, but I think Famke Janssen does a good job despite the horrible material. Now, that being said, though, McKellen was not the worst thing about this movie. The worst thing about this entire movie is Vinnie Jones as Juggernaut, which I never liked this interpretation of Juggernaut, especially that dumb line, "Can you let me out? I need to go pee," or that infamous line in the film, "Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch," which is so stupid. I always hated that line. And I don't know why they brought him back in Deadpool and Wolverine, even though it's a different actor. I prefer the Ryan Reynolds Juggernaut in Deadpool 2. That one was a lot more comic accurate than this Juggernaut. The biggest problem with this movie is the screenplay. It's just all over the place. And now you're probably wondering, how come you didn't mention Rebecca Romijn or Pyro or Iceman? Well, they don't do anything. Shawn Ashmore and Aaron Stanford, they're trying their best, but they don't do jack shit. They don't do anything. Especially Mystique. She doesn't do anything. They could have cut her out of the movie. And the director just a mess. Brett Ratner does not know what he's doing. He just wants to make... He'll try to make like an Avengers Infinity War style film, but it didn't work because there was no build-up, even though the first two X-Men movies did build it up pretty well. But overall, I think he does a horrible job directing. He just makes everything into a joke, and it does not work. But so in conclusion, I did not like this movie. I still don't like it. Yeah, the performances are good. Kelsey Grammer's really fun. Hugh Jackman's entertaining. There's some neat ideas in here. But overall, it's just a convoluted mess of a story because they make Magneto stupid. They just turn everything into a joke. It's over the top. It's really stupid. Cyclops dying was really dumb. So overall, I say skip this movie. Go watch the first two X-Men movies. Go watch the Deadpool movies. Go watch New Mutants. That's actually better written. And Anya Taylor-Joy gives a better performance than Famke Janssen does in this movie. So, yeah, this movie's just a mess. So overall, I give X3, X-Men The Last Stand, a 3 out of 10. Really disappointing and really messy. So that's going to be it for my movie review of X3, X-Men The Last Stand. Hope you guys enjoyed.